Yehuda, isn't he?
No.
Yeah.
But technically, he's been anointed.
Technically,
He has been
he's
anointed.
not king. Technicalities are not.
He has no kingdom, so he's not king.
David is a runaway. He's an outlaw, had to run away from his father-in-law, who was the king, called Shaul.
Was he already married to his daughter?
David was married to Michal, who was Shaul's daughter, second daughter. And David had in the past been a major general in Shaul's army after killing Goliath. And David also used to play music for Shaul to calm his bad moods. Okay, all that didn't help David, and when Shaul felt that David was a threat to the stability of the kingdom, because he felt that he was a threat to the throne, so he pursued David, and David had to run away. Okay, so that we've had several stories which happened during David's flight. The major story was that David was helped by the priest, the high priest, and eventually that got them all into trouble, and they were wiped out by Shaul. Okay, David continues to hide with his now expanded band of 600 outlaws who joined his group, and they now move around the desert around south of Hebron, between Hebron and Beersheba. That's the Judean desert, where today is Masada, En Gedi, all that area of south there and south of there. That's where they're moving around from place to place, from forest to desert, from desert to fortress, from fortress to moving to hilltop. At one point, Shaul almost got them, based on the information provided by the guys from Ziph, who were called Ziphim, and but miraculously, Shaul was distracted just as he almost caught David. That's the story so far. Okay, and David sighed a sigh of relief, and Shaul went back. Okay,
Proving himself worthy of living another year.
Okay, chapter 24, page 70, chapter 24. Vaya'al David Mishon. Now David went up from there. Vayeshev, and he settled b'mitzadot Ein Gedi, in the fortresses of Ein Gedi. Now, why it says Vaya'al, he went up, never means went up north. We only say that in Western culture, to go up north, down south, because maps have north at the top and south at the bottom. To go up in the Tanach always means to go uphill, to go up, or spiritually, but in simple it means to go up. David...
Or east.
No, never.
No, that's right and left.
No, right. Yeah, to go up always means to go up. Yeah. Going from where he was, which was on the rock, has to be going down, right? So possibly going up means to get to the fortresses of En Gedi, you have to go up, because En Gedi, the road near En Gedi is on the edge of the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is very, very low, and you're going up to the fortresses of En Gedi. Maybe that's what it means. So that's okay. En Gedi, we all know where En Gedi is. En Gedi is a beautiful spring, waterfall. It's named today Nachal David, Nahar Yishai, all named after David and his family, based on this story, because that's where David and his band hang out. Okay, so there's more than one fortress. So obviously it was a settled area, and there were fortresses in En Gedi. And he settled in those fortresses. Vayehi, and it was, Kasher Shav Shaul, when Shaul returned. Shav means to return, as in teshuva, not to be confused with the word sitting, which is lashevet. Comes from the word yashav, comes from the word shuv. Two different words, completely different meanings. They don't have the same root. One's yud shin base, one's shin vav base. Okay, so kasher shav, when he returned, me acharei pelishtim, from after the Philistines, he was distracted, and he went to fight the Philistines, because he was told that they were attacking. When he returned from that, so he's still on his pursuit of David. He hasn't given up his pursuit of David. He was just distracted. In the meantime, David managed to get away, and he moved from the desert of Maon, which he had been in, and now he moved to a different area more north of Ein Gedi. Good. Vayagidu lo lemor, and they told him, Shaul had spies, and they told him that Hine David is b'midbar Ein Gedi, in the desert of Ein Gedi. In actual fact, he was in the fortress of Ein Gedi, but they may not have known exactly where he was. And David was moving around in the area of Ein Gedi, so he was told in the general area of the desert of Ein Gedi. If you go there, you'll find it. Vayikach Shaul 3,000 ish. Shaul took 3,000 men. Bachur. What does Bachur mean?
Firstborn.
Who?
First.
No, that's Bachor as in Bikurim. That's Bikurim, that's firstborn. This was a ches.
Bachur is like the buffer.
And what does a Bachor mean?
Like a young.
Young men, okay. It might mean that, but it's probably not true. We use the word Bachur to mean young men.
Like selected.
Correct, very good. The root of the word Bachur is the word livchor, right? It says Pharaoh chased after the Jews with Sheish Meot Rechev Bachur, 600
Elite choice.
Right. So it doesn't mean they were Bochrim, right? They weren't Bochrim driving his chariots or chariot. It means chosen, right? The reason why young yeshiva students are called Bachurim is because they're the chosest, or they're the one you want to choose for your daughter, or something like that. Whatever it is, it's something like that. It's something like that. But the word Bachurim means chose. So he chose the crack shoots, the elite troops, 3,000. That was it sounds. Mikal Yisrael, from all the Jews. They weren't just from Binyamin. They weren't from just Yehuda. From all of the tribes of Israel, he chose only 3,000. Now, it's interesting that the last time he came to David, it doesn't say how many. It said, let's see what it said. Vayelech Shaul va'anashav, and his men. How many was that? No, that was the previous time. The time before, look at the time before, the page before, when he went to attack
6,000.
David in Keilah. Okay? David had saved the people of Keilah from the Philistines who had attacked them. And then he says in the Pasuk, he took all the men of Israel with him. Am I right?
How did David save
Because he attacked them. He attacked the Philistines.
alone?
No, with his 400 men.
Oh.
Okay? I don't know how many Philistines there were probably many, but David was very good at that. I mean, David was used to attacking Philistines on his own even. Yeah? Says, what did he do? Here, Vayishama Shaul eskol ha'am. Shaul took the whole people. So he said, what does the whole people mean? Is that all the fighting men, which is approximately 350,000 people. That sort of
In order to
number.
find David?
Well,
Yes.
That's pretty.
yes, you're asking a very good question, but that's really what I'm asking. He didn't need that many because it says here that he's got 3,000. And in the previous time, he said Anashav, his men. Now, Anashav, if you remember, a long time, also meant 3,000. At the beginning of the story, when Shaul was picked to be king, he had his what we call the royal guard, which was he had 2,000 and Jonathan had 1,000. So 3,000 is his men. And here, the second time, he's chosen. Now, why he had to re-choose them? That could be somewhere.
Best of the best.
He says they're the same people.
They didn't. Who says they were the same? That's exactly my question. Why didn't he just use the same 3,000? Maybe he did, maybe they've got old, maybe some of them were injured in the fighting that punished him, I don't know. Anyway, but the point is that sort of number. But when he came to attack David, when he had surrounded, when he was in Keilah, so he brought the whole army. So the Malbim explains, although he challenged it at the time, is that there he was still trying to cover up his actions. He didn't want the people to know that he was trying to attack David, and therefore he brought the whole army, which was the normal thing you would do to attack the Philistines. Right? So, since the Philistines had surrounded Keilah, now the truth is that in the meantime, David had got rid of those Philistines, but that wasn't well known. Shaul happened to know.
Bringing the entire army, I'm sure some of them know.
Maybe some of them know. Right? Maybe I don't know. Well, that's not the point. Question is the point, right? Yeah. So I'm saying well known. So since
It's possible that
Shaul had get secret information from his spies and said, okay, let's take the whole army down to Keilah. Then everyone will think we're going to attack the Philistines. The truth is, by the time I get there, we'll all find that the Philistines aren't there. But then we can attack David, and no one has to know that I went out to get him. Right? But by now, when and now all of a sudden everyone does know. And what suddenly happened, nothing's happened in between these two stories as far as I know. It's the story of Keilah.
Besides,
That's
there's
it.
another attack by Philistine, so obviously, keeping the army was a good thing. It's not like,
So my question is, why now has it changed? That now he only needs 3,000. Now everyone's going to know he's going to attack David. So
He already went in between this. He went to like the area of Masada, and he
good. Everybody's now it's well known he's trying to attack David.
I mean,
I know.
it seems like they surrounded him. They crowned him.
But that was also his three. That was it. No, why there did he only have his 3,000 men?
Why here?
Why there? In all these stuff. Why has it changed? What's happened to? I said the Malbim says he was trying to cover up. Why does he not want to still cover up?
Right.
What happened?
Right.
It's not like killing all the time with knife. That was all done beforehand. I know. To me, it's much more straightforward. It's much more straightforward. When you go to fight the Philistines, you're fighting in an area which is, I presume, when the Philistines attack, they're attacking from Philistine-controlled area. The Philistines live between Beit Shemesh and the coast, right? That's where you can have a big battle, where you can take hundreds of thousands of soldiers. If you go to En Gedi, or the Judean desert, you're fighting somewhere between the sea and the mountains. You get it? There's nowhere to put 300,000 soldiers. There's also no need for so many people, because you're not fighting
entire army.
You imagine you're going up En Gedi, it's like one at a time. So your army of 300,000 people is going to get 3 weeks just to walk through the pass.
They're coming down. They're gonna go down the mountains from more northern area.
They're coming from
Or the
Binyamin,
western
right?
areas.
And they're coming down. You imagine, the road that goes down from Yerushalayim to it's all mountains,
Yeah.
right? It's mountains of the Jerusalem mountains, and you go down into the mountains of the Judean desert. There isn't place,
So the idea
There
is that
isn't,
he's
right?
masking.
If you
that
go to
when
Jericho, you are, but David isn't in Jericho. Joe is in Masada, right? So you don't really have like you have. I'm not saying it's some of the places are very, very narrow, but we're not talking about Beit Shemesh, where there's enormous land, which is fields, which is a completely different topography. So it makes sense to take a big army. But when you're attacking David in the desert, you need supplies for so many people in the desert. You don't have so many supplies. That's what I think. Okay.
So there's no tactical or strategic advantage, so we can infer that he brought the army to mask his intentions to go after David, and maybe under the guise of attacking the Philistines, which wasn't one of them.
It could also be, but the point is, the reason why he's got less now is because there's no point in, there's no way to explain taking so many people. Right? Okay. So anyway, he's heard there in En Gedi. Vayikach Shaul, it took 3,000, be Bachor, chosen, be called Israel, from all of Israel, Yelech, and he went to Vakesh David to seek out, to search him out. Va'anashav, and his men, that means David and his men, al Pnei, on the face of Tsurei Haye'elim.
Hey.
Let's see if we can work out those two words. What's the word Tsurei mean?
Rocks?
Very good. As in?
No, the rocks.
No, I'm saying, where do you use the word Sur to mean a rock?
It's sort of,
There is.
sort of
Right, very good. Good. Okay, Sur means a rock. Okay.
Elim is
Ma'os Sur Yeshuas. Yeah?
Elim is deers or rams.
Almost. Yeah?
Elim,
A Yael is a
Giselle.
no. That's an Ayal. Okay,
So-
Ayal Taro.
That's what
I think I also right outside.
No, Yael is an ibex.
Oh.
It's
Ah,
the, it's
yeah,
the,
the
it's the
ones- the
symbol.
straight ones.
No, they're not mummy straight. Straight ones is another name.
I bet you are the mountain, like the mountainous.
Mountain goat, yeah. They're the ones which have got these enormous
Straight
bright ones. So they're not straight.
They're
The
straight
straight ones
edge.
are a different animal. The straight ones are in the
Slightly
are near in Yatvata.
Yeah.
It's
What,
called
the valley over there.
in the Yatvata
It's
in
very
near,
one.
right down south near. It's called. That's
Let's say we're on the
what's it called?
Yeah.
He's buried in Ben-Gurion. Where is it?
But the ibex is, they have the same type of like ridges on their home.
Right, the ibex.
They're both,
Exactly.
they're both like that, like that.
Ibex isn't straight. The ibex is the symbol of the En Gedi Nature Reserve, right? There's another thing which has got very, very straight lines.
Oh, so those are not the mitzvah one. The mitzvah one ones are not that those are the straight ones.
Yeah, what's it called, that one?
It's a deer. They're a type of deer.
Anyway, we're not talking about that one. That's the Yael. Okay? So now, they're called that because those are the animals that hang around in Ein Gedi. It's exactly what you'll find there. Yeah?
Antelope,
No.
Ibex?
the oryx, or the.
What's it called?
The
Oryx.
ones
That's it,
that, the
that's
ones
it.
that stand on the mountains, like
Right.
like this.
Yeah, right.
Stand like
They,
that.
right, exactly. They're stacked with mountain goats, I suppose. Or anyway, so that's what this Yaelim is, and that's where they went to find them, because that's where they are. They're called the rocks, the cliffs, I suppose they would be, or it's called the stones, or the rocks of the Yaelim. That's where David's men are, and that's where they went to look at them. Vayavo, and he came. Who's he? Shaul, very good. El Gidrot Hatzon.
The base of the.
Why base? Gidrot, from the word Geder. What's a Geder? No, it's a sulam. A fence, very good. A Geder is a fence. Like you make a Geder so you don't come to do something wrong, you don't, right? Okay, so you make a Geder. Gidrot are the fenced-in sheep pens. He came to an area of sheep pens, which was somewhere between the mountains of Ein Gedi and the Dead Sea. Well, that land had sheep pens. Vayoba el Gidrot Hatzon al Haderech, which was by the way, the road, what we call today Kvish Tishim, I think is what it's called, right? The road that goes all the way down to Eilat and up north. Okay, that road that goes down the side of the Dead Sea. Next to that road, there are sheep pens, and he came there. Vishram Ma'ara. There's a cave. Presumably the cave is at the back of the sheep pens, right? Towards where the mountains are. Okay, that's where caves are. Vayava Shaul came into this cave. For what purpose? Lehaseich es raglov.
To rest.
No. So anyone guess? The root of the word haseich is related to the word sukkah. What's a sukkah?
Shade.
Right. So a sukkah is like a shade. It's a building which has a roof on top. Okay. Now, laseich means to cover.
So he's looking. He's
Just
there
a minute. Just a
hide.
minute. Laseich es raglov. His feet. Now you can't to cover his feet. It's a bit funny expression. The truth is, this is an expression to go to the bathroom. Right? You see, there's no real word in Hebrew of any of these sort of bodily movements or anything associated with reproductive organs doesn't exist in Hebrew.
I gotta go cover my feet.
Right. So when you talk about what's the word for urine, or Americans have a different way of pronouncing it?
Urine.
Urine, right? Okay, how do you say that in Hebrew? There's no word for it in Hebrew.
Right, but don't we say it in prayer?
No, that's in modern Hebrew,
Modern Hebrew.
right?
In
How
prayer.
you can, what?
Don't we say it in
Go
prayers?
on.
Whereas, like, we'd put urine on the thing.
Yeah, but what's the word used? Yes, the word's mei raglayim, which means feet water. Mei raglayim means urine. That's what it means. Because there isn't a word for it in Hebrew. Why is it feet water? Well, it's not water that comes out your feet, but it's water that comes in between your feet, right?
At the foot level.
Right.
Goes on
Dirty.
down.
So because
Dirty water.
right? Because the part of the body that produces that water is in between your feet. That's how you say it in
Is that why
Hebrew.
it's called like a beit like like a
Probably, right. Right. It's a throne room, right? In English, you also can use that word, but there isn't any real word, right? Just like there's no word for the reproductive organs in Hebrew. Can't say them. You can describe them, right? There's no way to say, sexual intercourse either in Hebrew. You can talk about them, but you're using a word that really means something
Really?
else. Yeah. How do you say
How
it?
do they tell us that?
They say
eventually, how do they
shachar,
tell us that you're not
shachar.
allowed to?
Oh, as I say, there's a way to say it, but you're using a word from a different. Use the word bia. Right? Bia means to come. That's what it means. Theoretically, you can use that word in a million other contexts. If you're using it in the context of husband and wife, so you know that I'm talking about sexual relations, right? The positive, he came to his wife, right? It says vayavai elishtai, or by Adam, vayeda. There's all different, all words used, but they're not actually specifically describing that action. Okay, why not? So according to Maimonides, that's why it's called Lashon HaKodesh. That's what Maimonides. That's the Rambam
It's
says.
called Lashon HaKodesh because they don't talk about that.
Because we don't have words to describe the reproductive activities, the bits of the body which are very animalistic. I know you don't like that because you're very into Kabbalah, but that's the Rambam's opinion. Ramban disagrees. Ramban says what?
What does
There's nothing-
Ramban say?
Ramban says there's nothing dirty about reproduction. It's
Right.
very, very
Yes,
holy.
he's
That's
right.
not a reason. Okay, so I tell you,
What
you're
does
into Kabbalah.
Ramban-
Okay,
so
fine, whatever.
What does Ramban say? Why they don't say anything?
He doesn't answer that. He explains why it's called Lashon HaKodesh for a different word. The reason why it's called Lashon HaKodesh is because Hebrew develops words about holiness in great detail. Just like the Eskimos have 40 words for snow, and the Romans have 10 words
Murder.
for spears, because it depends on how wide it is and how long it is, so you have to know exactly what it is. Hebrew have many, many words for concepts of holiness, like Yiskadal, V'Yiskadash, V'Yispah,
For happiness.
V'Yisrael, V'Yispah,
Many words for
V'Yisrael,
happiness, many words for
V'Yisnaseh,
soul, many words for God.
because those are all holy concepts. Yeah. Happiness. Good. Okay, good. All right. So what we're talking about? So lahasech means what it really means is because when you stand, you don't use this word. When you sit, you're using your legs to cover the ground. You sit like this, and your legs are like a sukkah. Your legs are now covered because your legs are covering underneath. I think that's why I use that word. So lahasech, we're actually going to have it in the Mishnah Bikurim in a few minutes. I think. Yeah, Bikurim. I know. Sorry, I had it in today's Daf in Menachos. Definitely today, right? The Hasech is right when a kohen goes to the bathroom. So if he urinates, he has to wash his hands, and if he defecates, then he has to go to the mikvah before he carries on the service. So the same word is used. Yeah, every kohen once they and what they do in the bathroom. Okay,
Yeah.
in modern Hebrew it's called gedolim and ktanim. Right? Gedolim means defecate. Ktanim is when you urinate. Anyway, so he's going in there to relieve himself in this cave, which is there's a road. There's a field which has got the sheep pen. The back of this sheep pen there's a cave, and Shaul goes into this cave so that he can, even though he's a king, kings, man's got to do what man's got to do. So
Cover
he
his
does,
feet.
right, to cover his feet. I'll say Rabbi. But now, just happened to be perfect, great hashgacha pratis. But David and his men, b'yarkesei hama'ara yoshrim, they are sitting at the back of this cave. So Shaul just happens to come to relieve himself in the cave that all David's, not all David's men, some of David's men are hiding. Yarkaseh. Now that's an interesting word. The word yerech literally means your thigh. Okay? Literally means a thigh. This is the thigh of the cave, right? What do you mean? Instead of the head of the cave, which would be the front of the cave, it's towards the back of the cave. So Yarkasayim means towards the back.
Is David in this cave?
David and his men are in the same cave. Okay? So they're all whispering in. David's men saw who was in there. He takes his crown off. He's going to lift up his owl and wow, that's Shaul, right? They can tell Shaul's just walked into the cave on his own. You don't go to the bathroom when even you're the king. You don't go to the bathroom with just bodyguards. Don't give the story away. David Elav. Hine, behold, Hayoim, the day means this is the day. Asher Omar.
There's 400 people in this cave.
No, not all there. May have all been there, but some of them were there. Doesn't say.
How did he not hear them talking?
Well, because they whisper. Hashem, right? It might be an enormous cave. I don't know. Right?
So
this is the day that God said, Eilecha, to you, or about you, because no one actually spoke to David. But David knew that what? Hine anoichi noichen esayvech b'decha. Behold, I will give your enemies in your hand. Now, we never heard God say this to David. We never heard that God sent a Navi to tell David this. But it could be that Shmuel said this when he anointed David. Maybe he said these words. Maybe they may have been poetic license as well. That clearly this is God giving you the opportunity to give your enemies in your hand, and now what's all you have to do? And you will be absolutely justified in going behind him, taking a piece of string and that's it. Look, the guy wants to kill you, and that's the rule. No, a person for roidef, someone wants to kill you, the thing you have to do is go and kill him. Someone wants to kill you, you go and kill him first. Right?
Yeah, but he's the commandment.
Well, doesn't it apply if the guy's the king? You will just let the king kill you? I don't know. You tell me. No, you're talking about he doesn't have the right to do it. Obviously, the king has the right to kill you because you're a murderer, right? So it doesn't apply. But if you know that he's wrong, so he's no different to anybody else, right? That's what I would have thought. Maybe you're right. It's all right. Yeah, maybe. But that's their argument. This is what they set it up here.
What if, like, he comes to put you on trial in front of the Beit Din?
That's a good question. A person who bought on trial based and he knows he's innocent, does he have right to kill the judges? Or to kill the witnesses? Better, kill the witnesses. Because you know they're false. That's a good question. I don't know.
Then you're not innocent.
I don't know. But the problem is that since you can't prove it, you'll be brought on trial for killing the witnesses. Understand? So David will be put on trial for this as well, but he'll be able to prove that he's innocent.
Anarchy.
Or he'll be king and they won't be put on trial.
Anarchy is enemies.
No, Anarchy is I. It's the first word of the Ten Commandments. Anochi Hashem Alekech, I am the Lord your God who took you out.
Ovecha is enemies.
Yeah, or Yevecha, or yeah, right, his enemies. So clearly, this is the day that God has declared that He has given your enemies into your hand. That Asisaloi, and you will do to him, or you can do to him, you should do to him. Kasher Yita Beinecha, what is good in your eyes. Go and do what you think the right thing to do is, which is obvious, right? Okay. So interesting that David didn't send somebody else into it. By Yaakam David got up. By Yichrois, and he cut, okay, es knaf ha'me'il, the corner of his garment of Asher Shaul. He went up to it very quietly behind Shaul. Shaul was sitting there occupied and reading the National Geographic, what he's doing there. That's what I do in the bathroom, but I don't know what he was doing. Okay, all right. I wasn't thinking of the sugya that he was learning in yeshiva because you're not allowed to do it in the bathroom. I know what he's thinking about counting the whatever. Whatever. I didn't even know him. I mean, counting the balatot. That's what you're supposed to do.
Doing math.
Math, yeah, I need to. Okay, whatever. But he was doing. David came up, took out his knife, and cut off the corner of his garment. That's what he did, and then quietly went back. Balot. Lot means quietly. It's an unusual word. It's used in the 10 plagues when the magicians of Pharaoh used magic to copy the plagues. Yeah. It says, and the Chartumim did Balatehem came. So Rashi says it means the things that magicians do, they whisper all sorts of things. So the word lat means something you do quietly. Okay, so he did the same. What? Incantation. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that. It just means that if the root is done quietly. Okay, so that's what he did. He went quietly, stealthily, and cut off the corner of the garment of Shaul. But he achere came, and it was after that. After having done that, when he's back with his men, Yach leiv David oisai, and the heart of David, what did it do? Yach. That's a difficult word because you can't really see the root. There's 3 letters, and only one of them is the root letter. Right?
What?
The vav is and, the yud is he.
Yeah.
It's from the word hika. Lehakot. Lehakot means what are makot? Lehakot. Yes, we use it in bread. It means to strike, to hit you. Of course, it can mean lashes. It can mean plagues. It means his heart hit him. His heart. He regretted. He felt really bad about what he'd done. So it's about cutting. He says, "How can I do that? He's the king. He's my king. You cut off the garment." I mean, it's funny because his men said you should kill him, right? and he regrets the audacity of cutting off the king's garment. That's a form of insurrection, to cut off the king's garment.
Well, he's on a higher level than them, so.
At this point,
So therefore,
Shaul has
it's understandable that they want him to kill the king.
It's understandable. He wants to kill the king as well.
Understandable.
But now he regrets even doing this. It says, Vayach leiv David oisai al, for what? Why did it bother him? Why was his heart hitting him, right? He's got this banging heart, or whatever, he feels bad. Al asher karas es kanaf asher l'Shaul, that he cut off the corner of Shaul's garment. Okay. Vayomer la'anoshav, and he said to his men, Chalila li, we would translate it as God forbid, although it literally doesn't mean that. It would be profane for me. May Hashem, from God. It means God would consider this profane. Im e'eseh es hadava azeh. If I do this matter, la'adoni, to my master, le'Mashiach Hashem, to the anointed one of God. To do what? Lishloach yadibo, to send my hand against him. Ki Mashiach Hashem hu, because he is the anointed one of God. Now this is a very unclear what's going on over here. What is he talking about? Is he telling his men that he regrets cutting the corner of the garment?
Or rebelling.
What's the alternative?
It doesn't look like that because that's not called shlichus yad. That's not called setting your hand against someone. Shlichus yad sounds like to kill him. So Rashi says that this was no. Well, either way, it means this. The question exactly how the order of events. That he's having debate with his soldiers about killing Shaul. They say you should kill him, and he said, "God forbid that I would do such a thing." The question is when exactly they had this debate. If they had this debate beforehand and it's out of place, that's how Rashi learns, which is a bit schwer to say that, why the story should be out of place.
Or did it happen
right?
after?
Or having it afterwards. And he comes back with this piece of material and they say, what? That's all you did? Why didn't you go and kill him? That's what we thought you were going to do. And he said, God forbid, I had no intentions of killing him, right? That I wouldn't dream of doing that. Okay? That's what he's saying. By the way, it's the same idea, it's just the order's a bit funny if it happened beforehand. It's sort of out of place. Okay, so, and he says it looks like there's two considerations for not killing him, because he doubles his statement. He says, God forbid, I would do this thing that you suggest. Now the problem with this story is they didn't suggest it, they didn't say it. You have to add that into the story. He came back, and his soldiers said to him, what's going on? Why haven't you brought us Shaul's head? Why have you brought us this little piece of his garment? That bit's missed out in the story. And he then explained, and then the story continues, right? According to Rashi, you don't need to say there's anything missing, because if you take this passage and put it earlier, when they said to him, go, God's given it into your hand and now do what you feel is good, and he said, God forbid, because then it's an answer to that statement, but then they're not in the right order. But it's more or less the same idea, however you read it, okay? It's either out of order or there's a bit missing, one of the two. So what's he saying? That I should do this against my master, that's one point, meaning he's the king, and B, he's also anointed by God. So either of these would be different considerations of why he wouldn't do it. And then he concludes, because he's the anointed one of God. That sounds like that's the more stronger argument of why not to do it. Not just the fact that he's the king may not be such a problem. Since God, obviously, if this is all against the consideration that he wants to kill you. Yeah, and as I say, to me, it seems obvious that that's the right thing to do, or he certainly has the right to do it. I think that the only argument against that is something we've said many, many, many times, that when it comes to what we call Merid b'Malchus, which is insurrection or challenging the authority of the king, then if you apply the normal rules, you might get into big trouble. Because the king or the court won't take your excuse as an argument. Because then everyone will get away with that. So what if everyone gets away with it? So usually, usually when people get away with murder, okay, so one guy's dead. Okay, it's unfortunate, but somebody's dead, right? But it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of society that somebody's dead. Yeah. But if someone gets away with murdering the king, then you end up with a society that's going to crumble very quickly with nothing left of it, right? And therefore they don't take excuses. Like Shaul didn't take excuses for helping David. David was looking for food, and he came to the Beis HaMikdash, and he made up a whole he made up a whole story that he was on a secret message, and the king had sent him, and they helped him, and they all got killed, even though they had a good argument. They knew nothing about it. They thought that David was telling the truth, and they were completely set up. They were not set up, and yet Shaul didn't accept that. And we said, why? Because you can't. The king doesn't have the. As somebody said to me last week, yeah, when someone has a simple example, when a country feels that there's a threat, threat to public safety, right? They don't follow the rules. They'll torture innocent people to get information to save people's lives. Innocent people. Or they'll drop bombs on cities where there are thousands, tens of thousands of innocent women and children there, because that's the only way to bring about the end of the war. So that's not the normal rules of justice. When you bomb Nagasaki, whatever it's called, right? Or Dresden, or whatever, right? Or Tehran. This war has to come to a stop. And it's the same thing when you're worried about a real serious threat to public. So killing the king is clearly a threat to the stability of society. So if David's going to do this, yes, I have the right to kill him because he wants to kill me. But if you do this and then you're caught, right, then you're going to be in big trouble. Because even the court will say, yes, technically you had the right to do it, but they're probably not going to. And also, David knows that he's going to be the next king.
They don't want.
And he doesn't want to set a precedent of insurrection and insubordination. And so that's why he wants
Oh,
to.
you killed.
So someone's going to kill you because they think that you want to chase them, right? Therefore, David, from his perspective, has to get things. The king is not someone, and especially if the king has been anointed by God, that this is going against, in a way, going against God's plan to kill him. And therefore, I really have another way of solving the problem. If I cut off the corner of his garment, right, I have a way of showing him that I could have killed him and I didn't, and then we'll make up. And he'll leave me alone. Because that's what he does now. Okay? Let's see. Vayishasa David, we're not finished the story yet. Vayishasa David has a noshav, and Shesa. Do you know what a Shesa is? We had this 2 weeks ago in the Chumash. Shesa. An animal that has split hooves. It's called Shoisa'as Shesa. It means its hoof has to go all the way through. It's not going to have to be split on the top. It has to go all the way to split. Let's call it shesa. A shesa is a split. So Vayishasa David, he split his men badvarim with words. Means he persuaded them. It could be split them into two groups, those who were for and those who were against. But he managed to stop them doing what they want. They wanted to go with Shaul again because they were outlaws only because of Shaul. So David had to split them into two groups, or to split them from their plans.
Could it mean he koshered their
No.
anger and vicious?
Yeah, unlike no, because that's only one side of a kosher animal. It has to have two sides. The line is Sanam, and he did not let them lakum to get up El Shaul to Shaul. Well, clearly his men wanted to get to Shaul, right?
Themselves.
Either, if you read it in order, means after he came back with that piece of material, right? They wanted to go up. Or beforehand, it depends if you mean what order it is, okay? But either way, he didn't let them do. Shaul come.
There's no breaks. Why would it be in other order?
Because otherwise, we said before, because if you read in the right order, then there's a whole sentence missed out. In the right order, then David's speech to them is a reaction to no statement. That's the problem. So that's what Rashi said. I think there's two ways to it, but it's more or less the same idea. So Shaul, David, and he didn't let them get up to go to Shaul, but in the meantime, Shaul gets up, Mehamahara from the cave, Vayelech Baderech, he went along the road. He goes back to his men who are on the road waiting for him, marching towards where he thinks David's going to be. He didn't have a dreamt that David would be in a cave, right? You see, I think it's actually interesting, it's like a sort of a poker move. He expected them to be at the top of the mountain somewhere hiding out in the fortress. And what's he doing? He's hiding by the road, the most obvious place to catch someone. And in a sense, that's the best place to hide, because no one's going to think you're going to be hiding in
It doesn't sound like the word.
No, David's going to hide somewhere. He's not going to be sitting in the field. So he's certainly not going to hide in the cave next to the road. It's too obvious. That's exactly where he's hiding, because it's too obvious to hide there. Maybe that's why he's there. Anyway, Shaul's now on his way to look for David, and David and his men are in the cave. Vayelech baderech, he went along the road. Vayakam David acharei Cain. David got up after this whole story. Vayetze mehama'ara, and he left the cave. Vayikra, and he called out acharei Shaul, from behind Shaul. Shaul's like 300 yards down the road, and he shouts out, Shaul! Right? Because Shaul's down the road. Lamar, and he said, Adoni HaMelech. He didn't call him Shaul. God forbid, he's the king. Adoni HaMelech, my master the king. Yabeit Shaul acharav, and Shaul looked behind. Now there's different words for looking. So lirot is to see, leistakel is to look, lehabit is more like this, to focus on something. It couldn't, because David was far away, he couldn't actually see who it was. Yabeit Shaul acharav, and he peers behind. Yikoi David apayim outza. David bowed down with his face to the ground. Okay, so I think there's actually 3 stages of bowing. Kida means to bow. Apayim means your face. Vayishtachu, and he prostrated.
Like laying down.
Right, so right. Vayishtachu, right, means, so he did the 3 stages of bowing down. First you bow, then his face down to the ground, then you lay flat. That's the way you prostrate yourself to the king. Okay, Vayomer David, I suppose he got up. It's unlikely to be speaking with the floor, but he could have done. Vayomer David l'Shaul, and David said to Shaul, Lama, why? Tishma es divrei, why do you listen? Tishma, it means to hear, to listen, as divrei Adam, the words of man. of a man. Could be specifically Doeg or people. Lamar, who say, Hine David mevakesh ra'asecha. Behold, David is seeking your ra'asecha.
Soul.
Ra'asecha. Don't guess, look at the word. Ra'asecha, your. Come on, what's the root of ra'asecha? Which is? Come on.
Shepherd, evil.
Evil, very good. It can mean shepherd, not here. Right? The David wants your evil. Why do you believe? Why do you listen? Take to heart these people who say David wants your evil. David doesn't want anything bad. He just wants you good. You're chasing him because you were told that David. Why? Hine, I'll prove to you that I don't want any bad for you at all.
He was already after David as well before anyone told him anything.
No, he was suspicious. Well, you don't know. First of all, David doesn't know and you don't know. I mean, David doesn't know this. David didn't read this book, right? And maybe there's people who told him, Doeg. Don't forget, Doeg was the first one who introduced David right at the beginning. Okay? And that's probably this Adam who he's referring to. Behold, this day, your eyes see, or saw, Es Hashem, Hashem, that God had given you, Hayoim, this day, Biyadi, in my hand. I'll prove to you that I don't hold anything against you. I don't want any bad for you. Because today God gave you into my hand, Bama'ara in the cave when you've just been. V'amar, and he said, means if God was telling me, Lahargacha, to kill you. By God putting you in the cave where I had the ability to kill you, that was sort of seen as a commandment from God to kill you. And yet, and yet, he, meaning David, had pity on you. And I said, Lo yeshlach yadi ba'adoni, I will not send my hand against my master. Why? Ki Mashiach Hashem hu, because he is the anointed one of God. I could have got you, and I didn't. Now, who said? I don't believe you. You just made up this whole story. You saw me come out of the cave, so you said you were in the cave. How do I know? You could have proved it. Okay. V'avi, and my father. Well, he was his father-in-law, right? So we call him dad, right? V'avi re'ei, see. Gam re'ei, also see. Means, check it out. Es kenaf me'ilcha, the corner of your garment. I don't have to pick up the piece. You look at the corner, you can see what's missing. V'yadi. Well, it looks like he showed it. He showed re'ei kenaf me'ilcha, the corner of your garment. V'yadi is in my hand. Ki bechorsi, because when I cut es kenaf me'ilcha, the corner of your garment, v'loi haragticha, and I did not kill you, da, you can know, re'ei, and see, ki ein biyadi ra'ah, there is no evil in my hand. Clearly, I had it been Shatilu, I didn't do it.
Like a migu.
Well, right.
Migu.
I could have killed you. Must be I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Okay. V'afesha, there's no evil and guilt. V'loi chatasi lach, and there's no sin towards you. I've got nothing against you. I haven't sinned. I don't hold anything against you. I've got no evil intent against you. V'ata, and you, tzayda es nafshi, hunt my soul. Like tzayda. Sad, it's one of the 39 work activities forbidden on Shabbos. Lekachta, to take it. Take it, meaning to take
Kill it.
my soul. Right. I've done nothing against you, and you want to kill me. And I couldn't prove is I have nothing against you, because I could have killed you, and I didn't. Instead, all I did was cut off the corner of your garment. Okay. Yishpat Hashem beini ubeinecha. God should judge between me and you. Meaning, if you don't accept my argument. Or nekamani Hashem mineka. God should venge me from you. Means I'm not going to start up with you. You see that I'm not going to hurt you. If you don't accept my argument and you continue to pursue me, then God will sort you out. I'm not going to touch you. Miyadi lo tiyebach. My hand will not be against you. I will not do anything to you. I don't think it's right to kill the king. But I think God should do something to you if you don't accept my argument. Right? God should judge between. Look, you think you're right. I think I'm right. I've proven my point, and God should judge between the two of us and venge my position, but I'm not going to do anything to you. Ka'asher yomar mashal hakadmoni. Oh, this is a very interesting line. Just like the ancient saying. A mashal is
Mashal is like,
Oh, mantra.
Like-
Story that teaches a point.
Right.
What's like
the-
a non-truthful, like a
Right.
invented story. That
Right. Okay. And what's the book all about? Stories like that? It's called Mishlei. The book of Mishlei, which was written by King Solomon,
Allegories.
by HaMelech, right, is all about Mishalim. Like the wolf, or the fox that's going past the vineyard, sour grapes. You know that? Okay, that sort of thing.
Teach lesson.
Right, to teach a lesson. That's the thing. So this ancient proverb, that's the word. Kadmon means it's very like Adam Kadmon, means prehistoric man. It doesn't mean like modern Hebrew, right? Adam Kadmon. It's always been there, right? So this is an ancient proverb. Where is this ancient? What does it say in the ancient proverb? Me Risha'im Yetzei Resha. From evil people comes out evil. And I'm not an evil person, therefore I'm not going to do anything bad. And therefore I don't think it's right to kill the king, even though technically I have the right to do it. Let Hashem do it. But Yadi lo tiyebach. Therefore, I don't think this is part of the proverb. Might be. I think the proverb just Merishoim Yetzei Resha. Yadi lo tiyebacha. My hand, it will be, or she will be, because the hand is feminine, will not be against you. Now, where is this ancient proverb? Is it just where is it?
I think it's a Jewish proverb.
Oh, so Rashi and Chazal say it's Jewish. You see, the Kadmoni is really, the ancient one is God. This is a proverb because he's really ancient. I mean, God's been there a long, long time, right? Even prehistoric, even before prehistoric man. Right. So God's called the Kadmon. He's always been there, right? Okay. So it's a proverb of God somewhere in the Chumash then, because that's God's collection of God's proverbs. God's teachings, but these words don't appear like this. It doesn't actually say Meirishom Yotzei Resha, but Chazal say it does say something very similar to this in the words where it says in the Chumash, when you build a new house, you should build a fence around the roof. Right? Why? So that people shouldn't fall off the roof and die. But the funny thing is that Torah says, a very funny way, it says, V'lo yipol hanofel mimenu, that the faller shouldn't fall off.
the roof.
Right?
He's gonna fall off. He's gonna die anyway, but it's just.
So Chazal say, why is he called the faller? He's not the faller until he falls off your roof. He should say until someone falls off. Because the answer is, he fell off there because God wants him to die. In any case, he's going to die. He didn't fall off you. He must deserve to fall off your roof. But why your roof? Let it be a cliff, right? That means even though it's going to happen and it gets through God, but it shouldn't happen through you.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing. If God wants to punish you for what you deserve, let God do it. It doesn't have to be me.
Don't take it into
That's where this idea
Wow.
it comes from.
the Kadmon. Wow.
Maybe it's changed since then, over the years. But no, because the point of it there is that's you learn that idea from that puzzle, but it doesn't actually say that idea in the puzzle. It just says the nofel. I can't say like it says yipol nofel. No, the idea is taken from that puzzle. Okay, all right. So we'll leave that today because it's already time, and we'll continue tomorrow. Please God.
Whoa, next page. Uh-oh. First words. Vayamas Shmuel.
This wouldn't have been
Vayamas.
Oh, Shmuel.
This wouldn't have been like the first instance of Amigu, would it? Navi? I could have done this, but
So Shaul's also
because
about to.
You want to prove that you're telling the truth.
because he's saying, look, I could have taken you out, but I didn't. It's not my. So
It's not a regular migu. Regular migu is where I could have said a better lie.
Yeah.
I could have lied in court.
Yeah, you're right.
Just
Yeah.
But I didn't. I could have done
I
something.
could have taken the
I
whole
could have-
house, but
right.
I'm
Just had that in
taking.
Gemara in Totos in
Avabatra.
in Bava Metzia actually in
Have base some of that? You just talked about this.
No. In
Didn't he?
In Amavgid, it was talking about where the Nifgad could have lied and said that he wasn't Shia and he wouldn't have paid anything. But he would have taken the KFL. And he could have paid and taken the KFL and not embarrassed himself instead of just paying and admitting to Shia. So because of that, they instituted that if someone does admit to Shia and he pays the
Again, that's not a
correct-
migu. That's not a regular migu where it proves you're telling the truth. it's
Could've
he
lied.
could have lied. He could have lied, and
I mean, it was like
he would have to pay.
it's like your cow
He
did
would
a
have
bunch
to,
of
if he
damage.
lied, he wouldn't. Yeah, he would have had to pay. I mean, he could have lied, but he would have to make a Shiur in court.
And now what's he doing
He
instead?
could have lied and said there was no negligence, and then it's not.
He would have to swear.
He would have to swear in court.
Correct.
He doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to. We don't want to do either.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other guy who doesn't want him to, he wants him to get his cape. So everyone's happy with this.
Well, he doesn't care if he gets his cape. He just wants to get the carrot.
Correct. Sorry, he wants to get his cape.
Yeah.
To me, it was like your cow did $500 of damage. It's worth $500, and I'm telling you, he did $250. I could have said that he did $500, and I just keep the cow.
Right.
But I'm saying he did $250. Believe me.
Right. But it only works if you'd said 500, you would have been believed.
Yes. It does go.
Right, if you come to court and
If
say,
it's
I
believable.
found your wallet, and I say, yes,
If
I
it's
found your
believable.
wallet, and here's the $100 in it. Well, there was $300 in it,
Yeah.
right? I could have said I never found it. I would have been believed.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Then I haven't
Finish the
found it.
sentence.
Right?
I like
Good.
it. I like it.
Right.
Is that only in Bava Batra, or
Yeah,
does it appear elsewhere?
What, me?
Yeah.
No, well,
Yeah. Right. Well, what did he talk about? Just
A lot in Bob and
in one line.
A lot in Bob and
I was there, but I don't know what it is.
Ksuvas.
Give it the video.
Okay.
Right.
You can't get.
You know, a woman's suddenly pregnant,
You can't make a transfer
right?
from the video.
And we said, where's this kid from?
Yeah.
And she said, oh, it's from so and so. Right? It's-
I can only
I
do that
could have
after
said
I've uploaded
it was from this guy, and the kid would have been kosher, or a woman's.
I can't really-
The day after the wedding, the guy wakes up and finds his wife's not a virgin.
Was that
She
right?
says,
Yeah.
whatever.
On
And she
YouTube,
could have said a different
private,
story, which would be
wow.
more believing.
Then get
That's
the
a lot in
transcripts,
Ksuvas about
and
that.
then
Okay.
put it
It's like
into
she
there,
said it
and
came
that's
from
the
God.
description.
Oh, okay.
Or you just add the description later.
I look
Either
forward
way.
to doing
But yeah,
see it now.
it's not like a one sentence
I only know with Karka and Godros.
Yeah.
Mandatory movable objects like animals and land.
What a good race sheep.
Yeah,
That word, and you just had that word today, you know that?
Really?
Sure.
Oh wow.
We talked about the
I've seen
sheep
it anywhere
pen.
else.
The sheep pen, where the
Okay.
cave
Yeah.
was called goyders. The reason why sheep are called goyders is because they're usually kept in a fence, is a geder.
Yeah.
So it's not a direct word. Goyders doesn't really mean sheep. Things
Doesn't it mean
kept.
ambulatory
Not
object?
really.
Yeah.
And that's how it's used to mean, but
Yeah.
the root of the word
Yeah.
is something kept, something that
Kept.
has to be
Yes, it
kept
has
in a
to be.
fence, because otherwise it wouldn't move along on its
Oh
own.
wow.
Right?
Cool.
Hmm?
So in a sense, it really means the opposite, right? Because
Yeah.
the goder stops them from moving.
Yeah.
You only have to stop something that has the ability to move, right? Something that can't, but we don't need to stop it.
Lamed, I'm doing like Lamed, Baba Mitzvah.
Oh, Karka, you're talking about.
No, Karka is from Baba Batra.
Oh,
It's like damages. It's in Baba
Talks about
Mitzvah.
Avedis Karka, but it's in Yudah.
Like a 3-year hazaka and like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it was Robo. Robo said Avedis Karka.
The star's no good.
Shkoyach, baby, thank you.
It's fun and informative.
Islands in British history, that there is a room in the Exchequer. The Exchequer is the place where they run the finances of England, okay, which is called the Star Chamber.
Oh, like star.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's called the Star Chamber, but there's
Oh,
no
that's
stars
cool.
in it. It's because in the 1200s, when the British Jews controlled the finances of England,
Mhm.
they had to have a place to keep people's storos, because otherwise, if you didn't want to pay money you owed, you just killed the Jew you owed the money to, and you didn't owe the money anymore.
Mhm.
But then Jews wouldn't lend money to people, and then the finances of the country couldn't run without Jews
Yeah.
lending money. So they had to
Or
guarantee the
keep
Jews that their storos would be kept somewhere.
Wow.
Star is a contract.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
your
like a
deed,
deed,
and
like
your
a deed
deed,
to a property.
right? So
So
they
they're
were
doing lending.
kept in an official place,
Wow.
so that people could then claim their debts. And when the Jews were expelled from England, especially the Jew in York, who was very, very wealthy, and so they had to open this branch of the Exchequer to run all the finances of the country, because he was doing it until then. So they called it the Star Chamber, but of course they don't know why it's called that. Just my
Star chamber?
Yeah, based on the word star. Star. It's a star chamber.
Ah, okay. That's very cool.
Mr. Pink. That was his teacher's name.
Mr. Pick?
Pink.
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 Mr. Pink.
Oh.
Which book? Mr. Pink was my headmaster in school. He
Oh,
also was.
thinking of Mr. Man.
No,
I
Mr.
thought you were
Pink.
thinking like Reservoir Dogs, Mr. Pink. Steve
I'm
Buscemi.
just big.
Okay, we ready? Bikurim? Let's go. Another drink.
We're at the beginning of the second pair.
Mm-hmm.
What's this?
A new class. A new class, which goes from Shmuel to Bikurim.
You go from Navi to
Mishnah.
Hey, surfers.
Same style, which means it's somewhat ulpan orientated, which we want to learn what the words mean and not just read it.
old pandemic here.
Okay, take as many copies as you want. We've got too many of them. Okay, you can add the words in, translate them, do what you want with them. Keep it, throw away.
Were you there for the Rosh Hashiva's thing? Talk?
No, we speak about Satmar,
About what?
spoke about Yom Ha'atzmaut,
I'd have to try this one.
about the state of
Yeah,
Israel.
State of Israel.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to,
good.
Oh, did you record it?
yeah. I believe because I mean between then and now I've had like more than 5 people being like, "Did you record it? Did you record it? Did you record it?" I'm like,
So it's worthwhile.
yeah, apparently, but I don't know like
No, it was very well spoken. It was very,
what I
very
mean,
good.
well spoken coming from Rosh Hashiva, like that's like,
Make sure to tell them that.
yeah.
You did a great job. It was very well spoken.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Record on. See you. What exactly? What was his topic?
About the state and like not doing halal and stuff. Honestly, I fell asleep for like
halal.
Hallel.
halal.
But why the yeshiva doesn't do Hallel?
Yeah, it talks about that and like the a bunch of other stuff. But I literally fell asleep for like 5, maybe 10 minutes in the middle of it, and I was like, I missed.
You went to Rabbi Thaler's talk? Thaler spoke about his son's going, what? Sending my son off to the army?
When was that?
It was also today, no?
Wait,
Yeah.
was that at 12?
I think 12, yeah.
Yo, I saw that happen. I saw all these chats, and I was like, "What's this?" And I was like, "Is there a Shiva?" And this guy's like, "No, he's downstairs." I was like, "No."
He used to teach here, this Thaler. And one of his oldest son was badly hurt in the Iron Dome, I think it's the thing. And but I think he's okay. I think he's miraculously got better. Somebody said that when he woke up from it, he couldn't believe that he was alive.
Yeah, I feel that. Most days. I'm like, another one? It's crazy.
That's what they say is the proof of life after death, is that you wake up after eating challah and Shabbos. Okay, Perek Beis. Now, a lot of Perek Beis contrasts 3 different areas in halacha, 3 different areas which are being viewed, contrasting different rules about them. The 3 things are Bikurim, Truma, and Maisa. So let's discuss what each one is.